So each crank and connecting rod are 200 mm and 800 mm respectively, and the outer cranks are set at 120 to each other, and each has a reciprocating mass of 200 kilogram. So that means here, when we are taking a crankshaft, there will be so many cranks, and of which the outer cranks are at 120 to each other, and these outer cranks are having a reciprocating mass of 200 kilogram. Now the spacing between the adjacent planes of cranks, so there will be various cranks, and if we are considering the spacing between the cranks, it is like first one is 400 mm, then 600 mm, then 500 mm. So 400, 600 and 500. That means there are 4 cranks in this particular problem. Now the spacing between adjacent cranks are 400 mm, 600 mm and 500 mm. So we are asked to find the reciprocating mass of the inner cranks. So if we are to find these reciprocating masses and all, first thing that we do is, first we will be drawing the pictorial representation of this connecting rod. For that, first we are drawing a some vertical line, and here first thing it is set, the spacing is set. So let us take, this is the position of the first crank. So the second crank will be at a distance of 400 mm from the first one. Then comes the third one, which is at a 600 mm from the second one, and then comes the last one. So this is 400, then 600, and the last one 500. So these are 4 cranks. Now we are taking the first crank, we are representing the first crank by this horizontal line, that is at a 0 angle. Now we are unable to know the position and masses of the second and the third one. So let us represent the first crank is having a mass m1, and that is given by 200 kilogram, and the second one will be having a mass m2, we don't know what it is. Then the third is m3, that also unknown, and the last one, the fourth crank, is at an angle 120 with respect to the first one. So first one is this one. From this first one, we have to take an angle 120, and the fourth crank is at an angle 120 with respect to the horizontal, because first crank is at an angle 0°, that is horizontal. So this is the last crank, and it is also having a mass m4, and that m4 is equal to 200 kilogram. It is given in the question, 200 kilogram. So this is the pictorial representation of what we know. Now first thing that we want to do is, the first step, we should draw the couple diagram. So for drawing the couple diagram, couple means force into distance. So there should be a force and there should be some distance. For distance, there should be a reference plane. So we are having 2 unknown masses. So in doing this problem, we should remember that of these unknown masses, one should be taken as the reference plane. So we are taking this one, this particular one containing the mass m2 or the second crank, as the reference plane. So couple means force into distance. So force here is mr omega square into distance. So here this omega is the angular velocity of this particular crankshaft, and that is a constant. For each crank, this omega is same. So we are for drawing the couple diagram, we just only want to scale, we do not want the actual quantity. So we will be omitting this omega square. So this d is the distance from the reference plane. So force is the mr omega square will be found for each m1, m2, m3, m4 masses, and then for finding this mr omega square, suppose say first one, for the first mass m1, so for the first mass mr omega square into d. So we will be omitting this omega, so this can be represented by mr into d. So for the first mass m1, with respect to the reference plane that is passing through the mass m2, if we are finding this one mrd to represent this couple, then it is like m1 into r is the radius of the connecting rod, and then let us represent that as r1. Then D is the distance from the reference plane, and here it is 400 mm and it is upward. So we are taking that as positive. So D is 400 mm. So that is M1 is 200 kilogram, R1 is something like 200 mm, that is 0.2. Then it is 400 mm. Distance is 400 mm. So 0.4. So when we are writing it, we will be getting like 16 with some value we will get 60. So 2860. Okay, now if you are, so this is for M1. Now if you are getting the couple for M2, again the mass is M2, that is 200 kilogram, into radius of the crank into distance from the reference plane. For mass M2, distance from the reference plane is 0 because M2 is in the reference plane itself. So this moment will be 0. Now this for M3, it will be like M3 into R3 into distance from the reference plane. That is called that as D3. So here mass is unknown. So M3 is unknown. R3 is 0.2 meter into D3. D3 is the distance from the reference plane. That is 600 mm but downwards. So we should represent that by putting negative signs. So negative 0.6. So that is equal to negative 0.12 M3. Now for M4, if you are drawing for M4, so for M4, if you are drawing the couple from the reference plane, if you are making, then it is M4 into R4 into distance from the reference plane, that is D4. So M4 is 200 kilogram itself, and M4 is 200 kilogram, it is given in the question. R4 is 0.2, for every crank R4 is 0.2. D4, distance from the reference plane, that is 600 plus 500, that is 1.1 meters. 1.1 meters and it is negative. So negative 1.1. So we will get some value like negative 44. Negative 44. So here we are having 4 couples, and since it is said that it is balanced, completely balanced. Completely balanced means if you are drawing the polygon of these couples, then that should be a closed one. So first one, we are going to draw the couple diagram. So first, for the first one it is 60. So let us take a scale, or if you are taking the scale we can draw by it, or we can represent the same one. So let us take that we are representing this one. 16 is represented by 16 mm or 1.6 centimeter, and this couple, it is having a positive side. So we have the quantity of the couple is 60 mm, and that will be having a direction same as that of the mass crank M1. So the direction will be like this, and it will be having a 16 mm. It will be having a quantity 16 mm. So we have represented like M2 is 0. So here we have to show the arrow like this because its direction is similar to that of crank. Then for M2 it is 0. For M3 we are unable to represent because we do not know the exact quantity. There is an unknown variable there. Now M4 it is 44, but there is a negative sign too. If we are considering M4, then moment is in this direction, couple is in this direction, but here there is a negative sign. That means it will be exactly opposite to the shown direction. So it will be somewhat parallel to this line, but it will be downwards. So now we have represented M1 R1 L1, M4 R4 L4. Now the remaining, and here this is 0, so we do not represent this one. The remaining only one thing is this one, 0.12 M3. And for this system to be in equilibrium, there should be a vector like this. Then only this can be in equilibrium. And of the given couples, 2 are represented here, 1 is 0. So the remaining one must be this one, M3, R3, L3. So if we are measuring it, we will get, so suppose if we are by measuring it, suppose say that we are getting some 10 centimeter or 10 mm, then 10 is equal to M3, R3, L3. So M3 is unknown. R3 is 0.2. L3 is the distance from reference plane 0.6. So that is equal to M3 into 0.2 into 0.6, from which we can find M3. So mass of the third crank is obtained. Also, if we are going to get the direction, M3 we know it is negative. So the direction of couple is somewhat like this. So the direction of crank will be exactly in the same direction as that of M3, but will be having an opposite direction. So we will draw the crank somewhat like this, parallel to this line, but opposite to that of this direction. So crank will be having a direction somewhat like this. Now we do not know the second one. For drawing the second one, so couple diagram is over. Now we will go to draw force diagram. Force diagram is actually simple, somewhat similar to this one. Here force is represented by mr. This because force is mr omega square, of which this omega is considered to be constant. So we will just take mr. So for the first body, it will be m1 r1. So that is equal to 200 into 0.2. So that is equal to 40. Now for the second body m2 r2, we do not know the force. The third body m3 r3. M3 is found here. M3 we have already found. Say let us take that is equal to some 150 or so. So by doing this we will get M3. So M3 is found. So M3 150 into 0.2. Now M4 R4. M4 is 200. R4 is 0.2. Again 40. So this is 30. So we have forces 40, 30, 40, but this one is unknown. But since this is in equilibrium, the force diagram will also be a cos polygon. So here first one M1 R1 can be represented like this. This force is having a magnitude equal to 40, and it is having a direction similar to that of this crank. So we will write. So let us represent this 40 as 40 mm or 4 centimeters. So we will have a direction somewhat like this, and it will be having 4 centimeter. So this is M1 R1. So M2 R2 we do not know. So we are now not representing it. M3 R3. M3 R3 is 30. So 30 mm or 3 centimeter, and its direction will be similar to that of crank. So somewhat like this. Now M4 R4 40 mm and similar to that of crank. So here there is no problem of negative, because when we are considering this couple, there is negative because the crank will be above reference plane and below reference plane. For force there is nothing like that. Now so M1 R1 is represent, M3 R3 is represent, M4 R4 is represent, and the last one must be M2 R2, and that M2 R2 must be somewhat like this. Then only this will be in equilibrium. If this is closed, then only it will be in equilibrium. It is given in the question that this condition is in equilibrium. That means this will be M2 R2. So now measure this M2 R2. Let us say that it is some 3.5 centimeter. Then somewhat like this. M2 R2 is equal to 3.5 and 3.5. Then R2 is given as 0.2. That means M2 is equal to 3.5 by 0.2. That is equal to 17.5. So we will get this M2. Is it 17.5? Yeah, 17.5. So now we have obtained M2. Now the direction of this one crank will be similar to that of this one, because here the force is having the direction similar to that of crank. This M3 R3 is having a direction that of this one, and M4 R4 is having a direction that of this one. So M2 R2, this crank will be having direction similar to that of M2 R2. That means we will draw a line that is parallel to this particular one. So now we have obtained M2. Then after that we will measure the angle from the horizontals, and we will be writing there. Suppose if this is some 135, then we will write 135 degree in anti-clockwise direction. Here if it is 45, we will write 45 degree in clockwise direction. So we will represent mass M2 is equal to this much kilogram, say 17.5 kilogram. M3 is equal to 150 kilogram, and also the directions are, we will represent that by angle. Here this is 135 and 45. So that's how we do this problem.